Hello all, my name is Krishna and welcome to my YouTube channel. So guys, we will continue the discussion with respect to gradient boosting algorithm, and now we will try to understand the whole maths behind it, how actually it works. And this is the whole pseudo algorithm that I have actually written, guys. I know this particular algorithm looks too much complicated. What I'll do is that I'll try to break each step by step and I'll try to show you what exactly these steps mean, and if you want to get the whole pseudo algorithm, I have given the link of the Wikipedia page in the description of this particular video. You can actually check it out over there. So let's begin. Okay, so with respect to my previous video on gradient boosting, we had actually discussed how gradient boosting works. Okay, and now we'll try to follow this mathematical things. So let us go ahead and see. First of all, I have a data set over here: experience, degree and salary. Based on that, I have 3 records. My independent features is experience and degree. My output feature is salary. Okay, so this we are considering. Now what is the first input that is actually required for the gradient boosting? So let us go ahead and try to see that what are the things initially required for this particular machine learning algorithm. Now the first thing that we need to provide is basically the inputs. Inputs, we need to provide our independent and dependent feature. You can see over here, experience and degree is my independent feature, salary is my dependent feature itself, right? Now I am going to provide my independent and dependent feature. The second thing that I have to provide in the input is basically my loss function. Now loss function can be different for regression problem. For classification problem, it may be different. For regression problem, I can have mean squared error, I can have root mean squared error, unless and until, and one condition should be that all the loss function should be differentiable. You should be able to find out the derivative of that. Okay. So in classification problem, we have different kind of loss function. So the first loss function that I'd like to indicate is log loss. They also call loss function like hinge loss and all. So you can provide any of the loss function with respect to the different kind of problem statement. Okay. The third thing is that how many number of trees you want in this gradient boosting algorithm. So this 3 parameter is actually provided as the input. Now let us go ahead and try to see the pseudo algorithm. The first step is basically initialize model with constant values. Now we need to create a base model, the first model, right? And I also told you in my previous explanation about the gradient boosting, we need to find out the average of all this particular algorithm, of all these particular salary values, and then that will basically be the output of the base model. But over here we need to apply this particular formula. Now what this equation actually says, okay, we'll try to understand that, okay, how we are going to initialize this model. Okay, so remember guys, this particular mathematical concept that is written over here, it is nothing but argmin of this gamma value, where the summation of I is equal to 1 to n loss of y comma gamma. So over here gamma is nothing but the predicted value. Remember this guys, gamma is nothing but the predicted value. So we usually say predicted value as y hat. Okay, so let me just define the loss function over here. So my loss function, let me consider that I'm using a regression loss function, and this particular loss function is nothing but 1 by 2 y minus y hat whole square. I hope everybody is familiar with this loss function. Okay, so what we need to do in the first step is that we need to find out a y hat value in such a way that this summation this loss value should go down. Okay, it should be minimal. Okay, it should be very minimal. Now what does this y minus y hat actually indicate? It is basically the residual, right? It is basically the residual or the error. So we should be getting a minimal error. So we need to find out a y hat value such that this whole loss should reduce. It should be minimized. Now how can we actually find it out? Now over here, remember that when I'm writing this kind, right? If I try to expand this, okay, if I try to expand this, I need to find out this y hat value. Okay, understand this. So I can write, let me consider that these 3 records are there. Okay, so I will write 1 by 2 my y value. This is my y value, right? This is my actual value. For the first record it is 50 minus y hat whole square plus 1 by 2. The second record is nothing but 70 minus y hat whole square. The third value is nothing but 60 minus y hat whole square. So these are my 3 values. I have expanded this summation values. Okay, now if I want to find out the predicted value, that is the y hat value, okay, such that I minimize the loss, I need to do a first order derivative. First order derivative. Understand this thing guys. Now what does first order derivative mean? Suppose I have a value x of n. If I want to find out the derivative of x in this case, okay, if I take this particular value like this, the output will be nothing but n multiplied by x n minus 1. I hope we have learned this in college, guys, right? We have learned this in college days. If you want to find out the derivative of x of n with respect to x, it is nothing but n multiplied by x of n minus 1. So similarly, we will be doing the first order derivative of this with respect to y hat. Okay, with respect to y hat. Why we are doing? Because we need to find out the y hat value or the gamma value which minimizes the loss. And when we minimize the loss, you know that we try to find out the gradient descent, we try to find out the slope, we try to find out the derivative of that particular loss. Okay, so how I will find out the derivative of this particular value with y hat? I will just multiply this 2 over here, 50 minus y hat, and then if I try to find out the derivative of 50, it is nothing but constant, and minus y hat is nothing but minus 1. Okay, I hope everybody is clear with this. Then similarly 2 by 2, 70 minus y hat multiplied by minus 1 plus 2 by 2, 60 minus y hat multiplied by minus 1. Okay, so I hope everybody is clear with this. So I will just try to deduct this. This all will become 1. Now I'll try to multiply this 1 over here. Okay, I'll try to multiply this minus 1 over here. So this is nothing but minus 50 plus y hat. Then I have minus 70 plus y hat. Then I have minus 60 plus y hat. Okay, okay, I hope everybody is clear. Then we'll try to add up this 50, 70 and 60. It is nothing but minus 70 plus 50 is 120, 1 minus 180 plus 3y hat. Okay, I can also write this as 3y hat is equal to 180, and finally my y hat will be 180 by 3. So this is nothing but 60. Now understand over here, guys, we need to just find out, initialize the model with a constant value. So the constant value is nothing but this y hat, which is nothing but 60. Okay, so we found out a very easy way where, considering this loss function, since we need to minimize this loss function by selecting some value as y hat or this gamma, what I am doing, I am just doing a first order derivative with respect to this y hat, and finally I get the output of 60. Now this 60 is nothing but the y hat for the base model, okay, for the base model. You can see it very clearly. Initialize the model with a constant value. So we have done the step 1. Okay, we have done the step 1. So let's go ahead towards the step 2, that is iterate m is equal to 1 to m. Till then I'll rub this all, guys. If you have not understood, just revise it. Just go back and try to see all these things. So okay, guys, we have initialized the model with a constant value, and we saw that the output of this particular model was 60. So I have written the y hat as 60 over here. Now let's go to the second step, iterate m is equal to 1 to m. What is this? M is nothing but number of trees. Okay, so I am iterating this from 1 to m, and remember this pseudo code is basically written from the same Wikipedia page, guys. I have just written the same thing. Okay, you can refer over there definitely. Now from 1 to m, I am going to compute the pseudo residual. Okay, pseudo residual basically means the pseudo error. Okay, we'll try to compute. Now what is this particular formula? Okay, and what is this particular equation? Again, you may find it much more complicated, guys, but this is also very, very simple. Let me just tell you what this is. This is nothing but derivative of loss of y comma f of xi, right? Now remember that during this particular model, my f of x is nothing but f0 of x, right? So this, we are trying to find out this derivative with respect to this particular value itself. Now understand one thing. Initially this is my loss function. If I try to find out the derivative of this particular loss, what will happen? It will nothing but 2 by 2 y minus y hat multiplied by minus 1, right? This will become 1. Then I have y plus y hat. Let me take minus as my common symbol. Okay, minus as my common symbol, and remember, guys, this is nothing but derivative of loss with respect to derivative of y hat. Okay, let me take minus symbol as common, then I can write it as y minus y hat, and let me move this minus symbol this side. It will be nothing but derivative of loss, derivative of y hat is equal to y minus y hat, right? Now what is this derivative of loss with respect to derivative of y hat? It is nothing but, it is the same value. You can see minus symbol over here, right? We are trying to find out the derivative of loss with y comma f of xi, which is the previous model. Here also what we are doing, we are calculating the derivative of loss with y comma y hat, and that is nothing but y minus y hat, right? So what we are doing over here, we are just calculating the error by subtracting this value with this value. Okay, we are subtracting this value with this value, this value with this value. That is what we are doing. See guys, I have tried to derive this. This was my loss function. I did a first order derivative which I had to do, derivative of loss with derivative of f of xi. F of xi is nothing but this previous function, right? This is nothing but y hat. This is from where I am getting this y hat, right? So if I do this, and you can see over here, I move this particular minus symbol over here. Now this is nothing but this, right? I have this minus symbol over here. And this is nothing but y minus y hat. That basically means you are subtracting salary with y hat. And then I am getting the residual, right? So this I of m basically means for the model 1, I can say for the first record for the model 1 is nothing but R11. In this case, R11 will be 50 minus 60, which is nothing but minus 10. R21, I'll write it as R21, which is nothing but 70 minus 60, it will be 10. Okay, so this will be 10. R of 31, this will be nothing but 60 minus 60, which is nothing but 0. So this is my residual. This is my residual. Always remember that. Okay. So I hope you have understood this. Now, once we get the residual, we go to the next step. And then we create a decision tree wherein my now dependent feature will be this residual value and my independent feature will be my independent features experience and degree. And now I will train a decision tree regressor with this as my dependent feature and this too as my independent feature. That is what I'm going to do in the next step. Okay. Now once we do this, this is what the second step is actually saying. You have to fit a base learner hm of x wherein your input is x of I and your output or your dependent features are I of m. I of m is nothing but these three values with respect to these three records. Pretty much simple, pretty much easy guys. Right? So we have done till step 2. Now let's go and understand. This is from the sub step of 2. Okay? Understand this guys. We have a main step 2. Inside this we have various sub steps. Okay? So we have completed till here. We have initialized this base model. We have found out the residuals and then we have fit a base learner. Okay? Now we'll try to understand what this mathematical equation actually says. Again, I'm going to rub this. So make sure that if you have not understood, revise it again. Let us go ahead with respect to the third step. Again, this looks complicated, but understand, just compare this third step with this particular step. See, the equation is almost same, right? But here, instead of gamma, we have f of m minus 1 of xi plus gamma. Okay, this f m minus 1 of xi is the previous model output. Okay, remember that thing. Now suppose after my base model I have created a decision tree with the residuals. Okay, what does this particular function says that we have to find out the gamma, which is y hat, which is minimize this loss. It will minimize this particular loss. Now what is this particular loss? Understand this thing guys. Now I can write now this particular loss as 1 by 2. Okay, y of I is like that only. Okay, y of I, and remember I have summation of I is equal to 1 to n. Okay, I is equal to 1 to n. Y of I minus, now if I consider this f of m minus 1 x of I, okay, if I consider this particular value guys, understand what is my previous model. Suppose I have started from base model. Okay, I am just in the first tree, decision tree, right? I have constructed my first decision tree. Now my previous model is having this particular value. This particular value is nothing but 60. So I can write it as 60 over here, right? Then I will basically write this as plus gamma. Okay, or this gamma I can also say it as it is nothing but y hat, right? So this becomes my equation. I hope everybody's understood this. This becomes my equation. Sorry, I forgot to write square over here. So this becomes my equation, right? Almost in this particular way. Now I need to minimize this. Again, I have to follow the first step how I have actually done. I write like this, right? Again, it will follow the first step where again I'll find out the derivative, and based on this derivative, I'll try to find out the y hat value. Okay? Just understand guys, whatever I have done in the first step, same step will get repeated. And again, then you will be understanding that this gamma value will be varying with based on records. It will not be the same. Okay, now considering that, we will be getting the y hat value. Again, the same step, whatever I have done over here, it will be repeated in this way only. Only the thing that is getting added is the previous model value. Now suppose for the second model, the base model will also get added, the next model output will also get added over here. Okay, so this is how we have got this particular equations over here with respect to this particular file. Okay, now last is the updating the model. Now updating the model, guys, it will be pretty much simple, because just understand this particular way. Okay, now this is initially my base model. Okay, now based on my base model residuals and the input value, I created a decision tree. Okay, so if we pass the first record to the base model, we know the output will be 60. So here I'll be getting the 60. Then plus I'm adding a model decision tree, and this is actually trained on the independent features and the residual errors. So this will also give me an output. Now in this particular case, if I pass this first two records, my output is actually -10. Okay, but remember this same formula we are doing over here, but there is also a value called as alpha. Okay, now this alpha is nothing but it is learning rate. Okay, it is learning rate, and it is usually selected between 0 to 1. So here in this particular case, suppose if I select 0.1, then this will be nothing but 60 minus 0.1, okay, which is nothing but 59.9. I hope I have done it correctly. Minus okay, not 0.1, it will be minus 1.0. Okay, so this will be nothing but 59.0. Right? So when I give my first record to my base model and the first additive decision tree, I am getting this particular value. But still there is a huge difference. There is a difference of somewhere around 9. So we'll try to add one more additive model later on as we are repeating with multiple decision trees. You can see this iteration will be going on. But remember, this is the final step. Here this alpha is nothing but the learning rate. The learning rate is selected between 0 to 1, and here we are selected as 0.1. When I do it, it is nothing but 1.0, and I'm actually getting 59.0 with respect to the first record. With respect to the second record, you can see over here, my base model is again giving me 60, right? And my additive model is actually giving me 10. Here I'll be adding a learning rate, and this is nothing but 61, right? So for my second record, my output is 61. Similarly, for the third record, this value is 0, so my output will be same. Okay, so this was all about the pseudo algorithm, guys. I know it looks it looks a lot complex, but just understand, if you have followed my previous lecture step by step, I think you will be able to follow everything. So yes, this was all about this particular video. I hope you like it. Please do subscribe the channel if you have not already subscribed. I'll see you on the next video. Have a great day. Thank you one and all. Bye bye.